right, Connor, we've made it. It's win or go home now.
Absolutely. It's week 8. You know, a lot of teams across the state, playing their final game of the regular season, but we have a couple of 8-man teams who have already entered the playoffs.
That's right. It is time for the postseason at that level, so let's get things started. Ellsworth and Bucksport starting their small school north playoff runs. Eagles run a reverse on 4th and 5. Joe James Chin picks up the first down. Same situation. Joe to the outside, but this time there's no fooling the Golden Bucks. Next play, Aiden McGuire takes off for a big gain on the quarterback keeper. It takes an awful long time to take him down. Bucksport, though, going for it on 4th and 15. This is an interesting decision. The Eagles are ball hawks, and it's a turnover on downs. Next, Golden Bucks drive ball around midfield. McGuire connects with Connor Fitch for the long catch and run touchdown. Ensuing Eagles drive, Gavin Holyoke cuts in, and he would run away for a pick 6. Bucksport pulls away 60-6.
Continuing with 8-man playoffs, Stearns hosting Mattanomphook. Now, it was a little slippery. First play of the game, the snap is high, and the Lynx recover the football. But then check this out. First play for the Lynx is a high snap, and then the Minutemen recover. So, in essence, we start over. Minutemen with the pitch to Caden Raymond. He gets a couple of blocks, and that gives him a clear lane to the end zone. It is a 73-yard touchdown to get this one started. Stearns up 8-0. A little bit later, the handoff goes to Lucas Pelkey, and he is slippery. He trucks ahead, and after shedding a pair of tackles, they finally bring him down. Next play, Raymond punches it into the end zone for the Stearns score. Minutemen threatening again, this time Pelkey moving through defenders, and this time he won't be denied the score. And check out the emotion after that one. I can tell you they're fired up. Second quarter, Caleb Shearer with a toss to Sam Jacobs. Check out the stutter step, then the juke, and then Ben, get ready for this. How about the spin move? That looked like something out of Madden. They get the first down. Closing seconds of the first half. Shearer drops back and lands one into the bucket for Cameron Atkinson. The Minutemen take care of business 54-6.
All right, Old Orchard Beach and Mount View. The Gulls put up 60 in 6 of 7 regular season games. Riley Provencher on the end around deep into Mustang territory by the end of it. And from there, Wesley Gallant would go to the outside, and this score would make it 24-0 in favor of those Gulls. Later in the quarter, Asher Hubert, quarterback keeper, scores. The Seagulls have a great start to the playoffs, 66-0 in the final.
Now back to the regular season. Noble looking to hold down the number 2 seed in South A as they host Bangor. Second quarter, it's scoreless. Jameer Rose buys time with his legs and hits Caden Dustin for the big gain on 3rd and long. Now Rose would take it in a few plays later to give Noble the lead as he dives into the end zone. But Ben, I'll tell you, the Knights defense would step up from there. Tommy Gagnon stuffing the run on the Ram rusher, and then it's Isaiah Conneray, and he's going to get a helping hand from a couple of teammates as they once again bring down the Rams running back. But Bangor ties things up. Jack Shuck caps the drive with the nice cutback run on the short touchdown. But the Knights take the top spot in the South A playoff race as Noble knocks off Bangor 41-13.
All right, so Nokomis headed over to Herman to take on the Hawks. Herman heating up late in the game. Bruce Coulter running around the action to get to the corner of the end zone. Nokomis now. Logan Washburn, Ryan Robichaud picking up some yardage here for a big play that they would need to hang with this Herman team. Looking to strengthen their lead, the Hawks are. Coulter handing off to Damon Kimball, who slips through the Warriors defense and takes off to the end zone for a Herman touchdown. Now, a few minutes later, a similar situation. Coulter giving it to Sam Hopkins. This time, making a run for it with Nokomis behind him. That turns into another touchdown for the Hawks as Herman pulls away in the second half, 28-0 over Nokomis.
How about those Hawks? I mean, I'm not biased at all. Poland closing out the regular season, hosting John Baps. Knights trying to get the offense going in the third, but Mitchell Mayhew comes up with the quarterback sack. Now we're going to take you into the fourth. John Baps quarterback Aiden Ouellette with the option keeper, and he goes untouched for a 30-yard touchdown run. The Crusaders down the Knights 40-6.
Madison Carabec Valley going to Hamden Academy. Broncos up big at the half. Tyler Coffin breaks into the second level of the Bulldog defense out at the 1. So he earns the right to punch it in for the touchdown.
Seems appropriate.
Yes, Madison quarterback Brody Stroud going deep. Andrew Cody picks it out of the air for the interception. 4th down, Broncos line up to punt. It's a fake. Bulldogs don't miss it. They take over. Ensuing drive, Stroud over the top to Nathan Cornforth to end the 3rd quarter. Stroud tries to find Cornforth again at the goal line, but Cody has another INT and a little run back to boot. Bulldogs not giving up. Trevor Donahue pounces on the fumble, and they get on the board when Stroud finds Cornforth again, but it's really just too little too late as Hamden Academy takes down Madison Carabec Valley 49-8. Also, Waterville and Holton would advance in 8-man playoffs. Back in the regular season, some winners were Belfast, Lawrence, Falmouth, Messalonskee, the Ramblers, and Coney and Connor. It's only going to get tighter and tighter from here as these teams look to win regional and state championships.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Some of these games that we have coming up here, I truly think they're going to be special. And one of the biggest things that I've noted, and this season especially, 8-man football is so much fun. I was recently introduced to the sport, or to that version of it, and it's genuinely spectacular.
Absolutely. And not only are those fall playoffs going to be in full swing, we'll have state tournament soccer coming up next.